Steam?
Yes.
Why is YouTube Studio beta now? We
pushing
went back a
everything.
couple versions.
It's the new thing. Alright, you're live. The internet can totally see you right now.
Is that true?
I don't know. Let's find out. Whoa, where'd you go? I lost you. Dave? Weird. I just completely lost you. Let me close out of this then. Off to a smashing start. Sorry, Dave's not here right now. If you leave a brief message and your name and number after the beep, he'll get back to you. Maybe. Maybe. It was working. I promise. It was totally working before. Dave probably did something. He probably broke something. Yeah, Dave broke something.
I did nothing.
Yeah. Sure you did.
Can't people see me now?
No? No.
Oh.
Maybe? Yes. Now people can see your dark face.
My dark face.
Yes.
How
It's so dark there. Why is it so dark, Dave?
Because I don't have a light in my room. I have my studio lights. Actually, you know what? This is probably not helping.
Probably. Ah, yeah, that helps. That did it.
Yeah, it was actually making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, it was causing like a bright spot. Well, that was a pain in the booty. Look at all of this stream technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're trying to use new things, and it's just clearly not working. But that's okay.
Streamlabs, ladies and gentlemen. Streamlabs.
It's really slick and awesome. If you know how to use it.
When you can get it to work.
Do I know how to use it? No.
I mean, I used it at the PPG tournament. It was literally just the same. I don't know.
Well, they probably used it before, and they probably know what they're doing.
I'm assuming there was a lot of background stuff that was already set up that was, you know.
Yeah. Most likely. Wait, why did it stop? It was working.
What?
Why does nothing work?
Bad dragon.
Everybody. Oh, there we go.
Do 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 do.
I don't know where can we put the lights at. I guess we could put that there. Let's do that. That sounds like it. Let's try spinning. That's a good trick. Welcome, guys, to the much maligned start of the Davinado1212 stream.
All 30 people who stayed here despite the 15 minutes of technical difficulty.
I am your host, Ryan, joined today by Davinado1212 himself.
Yes, this is what happens when you farm out things to underlings. They fail
take
you.
Over.
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral.
I didn't fail you for the first time. Well, maybe.
Well, if you're like a bad guy, I guess you don't even get one, right?
No, you get one failure. That's it. You have failed me for the first and last time.
In the Empire Handbook, page 46, paragraph 2, and I quote, "All officers get one failure before they are killed by Darth Vader. No more, no less."
5 is right out.
He's right, Vader. You must release him. He hasn't got choked yet. It's in the handbook. Would you imagine trying to report Darth Vader to HR?
Matt, the radar technician. So did you want to try to get JJ?
Jason
joined?
said he will be there in like 15 minutes.
So we have to entertain the masses until he comes up?
Yes. Because he decided that it'd be really cool to request to be on my stream and then find something else to do at the exact same time.
That's incredible.
Incredibly rude.
Yeah, about that. Okay, well, let me see if I can find interesting conversational topics for us to have while he's gone.
Okay. I suppose we could start with one of the other topics.
Dave, those topics are ridiculous.
Not all of those topics were joke topics.
Oh, I missed it between how does Ryan deal with the annihilation from Goblin Slayer and TRA.
First topic on the Davinado1212 stream is T or A, the oldest, most important discussion of our time. Philosophers have spent their entire lives trying to figure out whether or not it is the T or the A that makes us chase the W. And if that wasn't the most PG way of asking that question, I don't know what was.
I applaud your attempt at some semblance of
We will never get demonetized under my watch.
Oh, sorry, was that you being serious?
Because obviously we are talking about tech choices, trap tricks, or artifacts.
Ah, yes. That would make much more sense.
What did you think I was talking about, Ryan?
Right. Trap tricks.
Oh my god. This screen grab has been the source of infinite jokes.
Oh.
Yeah, you used it for the quotes. This is just great.
my comedic timing.
Oh.
All right, so let's go with Salmon great or Salmon. Actually, you gotta change this mediocre. because that was the name of one of the topping decks in PPG tournament, which I thought was awesome.
Salamediocre.
Salamediocre. So, in your opinion, having played the deck against the deck twice at your hometown regionals on Saturday, what were your first impressions on the deck?
My very first impression was I don't know what any of your cards do, and I'm not sure what to toad, because I had never even read any of them.
I knew how the mechanic worked as far as because I watched the anime. I knew that there was like the reincarnation summoning, and they got additional effects when summoned using themselves.
Animo?
But yeah, I didn't know really what any of them did either.
It was interesting. My first time playing against them, I lost. However, I managed to teach myself how the deck works because every time he would activate a card that seemed way too broke, I would pick it up and read it and realize he was, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, trying to cheat. So I was like, wait a sec. There's no way your stupid Infinity Barrier adds itself back from the grave. It doesn't do that. There's no way. And he's like, yes, it does. I'm like, oh, well, it does. But you need to have a guy summoned with himself on the field, which you don't. See? It's not just free. Stop cheating. So
it's when it's Link summoned that in the material was his name.
Yes. So like I kind of learned how the deck worked because I was pretty much
preventing him from cheating,
watching every move he was making. And then the second time I played the deck, he the guy didn't know what he was doing. Like he 100% had just picked the deck up and was trying to learn it during like trial by fire during the tournament. And he was playing much slower, so I actually could follow the plays, whether they were the best plays or not. I was at least learning what each of the monsters do. And I learned the best way to beat it is to Book of Moon their normal summon, because they have to do a lot of passing after that.
Their main playmaker requires a Salmon Great to go to the graveyard. And if you Book a Moon, they can't link it away. And the other one that can send itself to the graveyard requires a face-up Salmon Great to activate its effect.
So that seemed to be a stupid way of just turning their deck off. It was kind of broke. And I won the die roll, so Canada was OP. It was MVP. It's a worm, I think.
It is. So because Dave needed the ashes, I purchased 3 of the structure deck, and sold the ashes. So I have the deck pretty much completely for free. So for the first time, I think in my entire experience playing Yu-Gi-Oh, when I got home from the regional after trading for some of the missing pieces, I literally sleeved up the deck, sat down, shuffled what I had, and tested with real life cards and learned the deck as I played it, sitting down in my living room. I have never done that ever. I've always tested with the online simulator or testing against myself first. So being able to kind of sit down with a full deck and just kind of see what I could do just by reading the cards as I went was a very interesting experience for me. I kind of liked it. I don't know that I want to take it to a tournament and just go, but
you should just play the whole time.
It's the deck is actually a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to kind of learning the minutia of some of the plays.
Well, I'm glad you decided to pick the deck up. Did you play against it during the tournament?
Once.
Did you win?
I won. I lost the die roll every single round, so I won game 1 against him.
Interesting.
And then game 2 was just too long. He eked out that victory, and then I tied. So
Same.
I not running Gaga Cowboy, so I was unable to do the little bit of burn for once time was called. So I tied against the Salamangreat, and he seemed okay. He violet chimeraed away my Borreload dragon. So
Oh.
oh man, OTS Championship next week. I'm just gonna bring Salamangreats. Just go ham. Like I've never played this deck before. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just show up and start playing.
Like everyone else at the tournament last week.
Pretty much.
I love you too, Marty. You are in. Okay, now I can't see any. All right, you're gonna have to. Are you gonna stay there? Gonna be good? No, probably not. Okay. Anyway,
Scooch that up. So yeah, I mean, and they sounds like they topped a lot at the ARG and the PPG tournaments that were this weekend as well. I think they topped a lot at Millennium as well. So, but yeah, Kieran says that it's pretty consistent, has solid plays. Just that alone is good enough. Then you have to add a benefit of being grindy and auto removing. So it's got good removal, it's got good negation, it's got good consistency. It's nothing flashy, but it's definitely.
I think it's a decent. I think it's a decent deck. I'm not positive I would call it tier 1 though.
It was meta only because it was new. It was the more represented deck because I think people were testing it out.
Yeah, I think when the format settles down, because we just got a ban list a couple weeks ago, and we just got a new deck, but we're not going to get a new set for a little while. I think once the format settles down, I think you're going to see it maybe tier 2, probably Rogue. I don't know. It didn't do anything that I thought was particularly busted that one would expect a tier 1 deck to do. Like
you were playing against particularly unskilled players.
That's true.
The will of the Salamangreat, which one is that? Yeah, will of the Salamangreat is like if you can target the Link 3, it's a summon 3 Salamangreat monsters from the graveyard. Yeah,
it's like a in archetype
Soul Charge,
Monster Reborn, and Soul Charge. It's a really busted card.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested to see what it would do in the hands of a player who really was very confident with the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does recur its Infernity Barrier, rather,
mm-hmm.
which is that's never ever going to be bad. like
no,
a free negate of anything that it can keep using is good. So. And it could probably make a big board, especially probably if you put a supplementary engine in it. I think I saw some kids were using Dangers, mostly just I think to make the one that requires level 3s. But
yep.
That seemed good. I had some people using like Terror Top, Felt Bad Man.
I considered that as well. I stuck it in just as far as for testing. And then what I thought I would try doing is put an update jammer for a wind so I can summon Takatemborg if I hard draw it before Terror Top.
Is there any advantage to trying Galeas?
I think I would try something more like the Psychic Tracker or Backup Secretary.
Okay.
Both of those level 3s can kind of just summon themselves if there's either another level 3 or a Cyberse, I think, on board. So there's better ranked 3s than Terror Top. It's played in the OCG because Terror Top is at 2.
Yes. I think that's the biggest interesting thing about the deck is that it's a tier 1 deck over in the OCG, but their ban list is decidedly different. So it'll be interesting to see if that's what's making the deck good or if it's actually the core.
Yep. Yeah, I don't have Psychic Wheeler. I think Psychic Wheeler and Psychic Tracker are the 2 that came out in Savage Strike. I think Wheeler is the secret.
I think I have a Wheeler somewhere.
And I think Tracker is the dual a budget alternative rather. So, any other standouts from the weekend besides staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning trying to decide on 2 cards?
Good job, Rohrbach, my hometown Rochester Brewing Company. For 2 nights, you supplied Ryan and I with delicious beer, and I would just like to hand it to you. Your vanilla porter is quite tasty.
I still got 2 in the fridge that I keep thinking about.
Oh.
But if I drank it now, Julia would be mad because I didn't share with her.
Oh, that would be rude. No, don't attack my phone.
Have you looked at the Infinity Chasers archetypes yet at all?
Well, I
Do you
will
know
say
anything
this.
about them?
I know something about them,
Yeah.
and that's that they exist,
Okay.
and you just brought that to my attention.
All right. We're on top of things.
Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing. Did they change their name or something?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been that for as long as it's been announced. You know,
Infinity Chasers.
the last month or so that it's been announced anyway.
The
three archetypes are Infinite Track, Evil Eye, and Witchcraft.
I heard people calling them witchcraft.
It's one of the archetypes.
Is Infinity Chasers a pack?
It's a Hidden Arsenal pack.
Oh, okay. See, now I have some context. That's why it made sense. Okay, yeah. Somebody said that witchcraft was bad. That was about all I know about it.
They're all the spellcaster monsters discard spells to activate their effects, and the witchcraft spells, if their effect was not used that turn, you can add it back to your hand. They have on-field effects, and then some of them might have grave effects, or the monsters do.
All right, is any of this garbage meta over in the OCG?
I'm not sure, actually. Is it even? It is out yet, I think. Is it even out yet?
I don't know.
It has not been released in the OCG, so we don't know yet. We're all speculating whether it's going to be the next Sky Striker or not. I guess it depends on if you ask Lithium or not.
It's because it's an extra pack, so
this is the next Sky Strikers. Yeah, I mean, it's the same type of set the Sky Strikers came out in, so... And, the Necros, so... It looks... Right. From what I've seen, they look competent, but not busted.
Because right now it looks like the OCG, it's Subterror, Buster Blader, Salamangreat, Guard Dragon Blue Eyes, and Zephyra.
I think we're missing Needle Fiber for the Blue Eyes.
Orchest, there's a Sky Striker.
Orchest?
No, if you're going to puke, you are not doing it on my lap. You are getting on the floor to do that.
Yes, whenever you have to puke, make sure you're not on Dave's lap. Why isn't this letting me transition? That's frustrating.
Wow, this OCG is a crazy place.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Yeah, no, it is.
Why is Zephyra good?
I don't know, chat. Why is Zephyra good in the OTG? Gabriel says Orchest will be meta once Dark Neostorm comes out.
We got 2 Terror Top. That's a thing.
Oh, Danglong is for Zephyra. That's why.
They have Danglong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also running Needle Fiber.
Yeah.
Aside from Lord Lambda.
Danglong is at 2.
Stupid OCG. What the fuck? What the hell is this even?
Yeah, the astrograph and chronograph were hit to 1 in the OCG. Darkworms at 1, Harmonizing Magicians at 1, Pendulum Calls at 1. That's terrible. Joker's at 1. So basically some of the banned cards they just put to 1, which is kind of crazy.
So Kieran says the reason why people are playing it is because it's the only pendulum deck that works.
Yeah. Which is fair.
That's fair. I mean, I think Zephyr is a more fair pendulum deck because aren't all the scales like kind of picky?
I think so.
I feel like they're picky. I think they're like you can't use them if, like, or something like that. I think you can only pendulum summon Zephyrs.
Yeah.
Or whatever's in the
or the
all Zephyrs are all Zephyrs are 2 archetypes, Zephyr and something else. So
yeah. So were your common Ash Blossoms up to snuff?
Common Ash Scrub Trash is our next our next topic of discussion. This was gonna. For this one, I actually had a kind of a 2-tier idea for this kind of discussion. Partly, I want to just talk about my own experience with actually having access to the trap or to the hand trap card, but also maybe a greater discussion on whether or not access to this high level of meta play cards being accessible is good or bad.
Okay.
If any of these were going to be a debate, it would have been this. It would have been this one. But all
right, so go ahead and let us know how you thought the card was now that you've actually got to use it for once.
You're talking to me?
I am talking to you.
Well, it had middling success against a good deck. It certainly wasn't the end of the world for them to get hit by it. And against a bad deck, it was decidedly the end of the world to get hit by it. So, for the longest time, I've been on the receiving end of Ash Blossoms without ever actually having them, and I'm normally playing a bad deck, so there was a part of me that thought the card was absolutely ridiculously powerful. Now that I've got my hands on it and I've seen what it can do against different levels of decks, I realize, no, if you think Ash Blossoms broke, you're the scrub. Because that just means you're playing a deck that dies to 1 negate. So you should be just as complaining about Solemn Strike as you are about Ash Blossom. Because good decks can play through it. Yeah. And I figured that out very, very quickly.
I think that's why a lot of the decks are gravitating again towards Droll and Lock. Especially against dangers, because it prevents the draw as well.
Yeah, because you can Ash Blossom the hand effect of a danger to activate, but there's literally no reason to do it because I can just use the card again.
Yes.
I used it against a Blue Eyes player, and it worked well. I used it against the Danger Thunder Dragon player on his Saruja, and he just made another one. And I still lost. So
there's that.
So varied success. And I will say this, part of that is probably due to me not ever actually having the card. I don't have a ton of practice using the card, so it's very possible that I was not always hitting the most optimal cards with it. I was hitting the obvious cards, but not necessarily the most potent. But I don't know. I don't think it was all me. I think it's just good decks don't care so much.
I think that's another reason the Soundland Greats are so great, is that they can play through a couple hand traps. I think that's why Pendulums are so good as well, because with the right hand, you really can play through a couple.
It's really a power ceiling thing and a consistency thing. If your deck needs its one search to get off the ground, it's going to be a very powerful card, no matter what it hits. The greater part of the discussion, whether or not it's good that bad players can now have access to this good card. I've heard a lot of talk about this from competitive players, where it's almost like you aren't good enough to be using the card.
Okay.
And it's like, you're bad, so you shouldn't be using this high level, because you're just going to misuse it.
So what is the detriment? What's the reasoning for that point of view?
I can't quite figure it out, other than they're taking it personal that this bad player is misusing a card that requires a bit of skill.
Okay.
Because you can't just drop Ash Blossom at the first sign of a search or a dump. It's got to be used strategically at the right time, because you can even if you open 2, you can only use the 1, and it's a -1 for you to use it. So in order for that to be worth it, it most certainly needs to either go even with card advantage or cause, in some fashion, your opponent to take a loss. So it requires you, as the user of the Ash Blossom, to be the good player.
Yes.
And I guess if you've put your money down and you've paid your $100+ for your playset of Ash, and you've been using it competitively for a long time, and you've been blown out these X3 scrubs with it for a long time, now all of a sudden they all have access to a card that you worked your butt off to get good with, and they're all throwing them down at the first sign of a Rhoda, and they're making bad plays. I guess it could be annoying.
Right. To usually see when you see, when you're used to seeing a high level of competitive play, and the only time you're going to see an Ash is from someone who deemed it necessary or deemed it valuable enough to drop the money on that, you know they're going to be a good player. You know they're going to Ash the right thing. You know that Ash is going to be effective, and now you're going to see a lot of common Ashes that are probably dropped on the worst thing possible. So it, in your mind, you could think that it diminishes the value of the Ash now.
Also, I think another part about the issue with common Ash Blossom is you're running into this weird scenario where you ask your opponent, "Oh, how long did you drive here?" And they're like, "Oh, I live down the street, and I just brought a fun deck." And you're like, "All right, so this scrub is probably not going to Ash me. I can probably make different plays against him than if you were like, 'Oh, where'd you come from?' He's like, 'Oh, I drove 6 hours. I want to get my 3rd invite this year, just to flex on my friends.'" And you'll be like, "Oh, well, I got to be careful with what I do, because this guy's probably going to Ash the crap out of me at the right time. He's probably a good player." So now that everyone has access to this card, metagaming becomes a little more difficult, because you can't just assume, "Oh, this casual scrub doesn't have it. I don't need to worry about it. I'm just going to blow him out of the water." Now it's, everyone has the damn thing, and I can't even bait him properly, because he's probably going to use it on something weird, and he's going to be bad, and it's going to piss me off, because it's not even going to be a good play. It's just going to be a weird play, and then I got to play around this. I'm like, is he good? Is he bad? What's going on? Do you just throw it? Now I don't know what's going on, because that play made no sense, and I don't think he's that clever. I don't think he's 3 moves ahead of me. I just think he's dumb, but I can't be sure of that. So that's stupid. I'm actually starting to understand this whole thing as I'm speaking.
So in the book, the Road of the King from Patrick Hoban, he talks about how that's actually something he'll do when he sits down before the match or before the round starts, and he'll ask, hey, what were your losses? What did you play against before? Where did you come from? How far? He tries to get a whole bunch of information on his opponent so he can kind of know what he's getting into. If they say something like, oh, I played against this, this, and this, and I hate that, then you probably know that they are not playing one of those decks. And if they came from a long distance or a short distance, then you can definitely gauge their skill level by that. So he's using that information to his advantage before the match even starts, which I thought is it really interesting.
So I think, personal opinion on the whole thing, I would say that Common Ash is good. It makes a good card available to everybody that was kind of a gatekeeper card. Like, skill level aside, if you had the 3 ashes and your opponent was in a mirror and they didn't, you probably won. Everything else, like same deck build other than the 3 cards, same skill level, it was always the deciding factor. It's when used properly, a fantastic card. So it's kind of gatekeepery, and for someone who's been a budget player since he's ever had this game in his closet, I don't think I've ever spent more than $25 on a card. I can't think of an instance when I did, and that's even a rare occurrence.
Right.
So for me, it's awesome that I have access to this card. It's really cool. And as long as we all, now that we have access to it, can start learning how to use the card and not look like a bunch of idiots,
yes,
I think everything will be good. And then we can have I guess you'd call it a proper meta with the card, because now scrubs and pros alike need to learn to metagame, assuming that everyone has this card, everyone knows how to use this card, so now I need to learn to properly play around it. Have better technical play. No, I think that's a positive thing.
So, absolutely, I don't totally agree with that. So going off of that, let me stick in here, kind of the structure deck point of entry. So structure decks are a great way for budget players to buy for $30. Just buy a deck. And
you want to add Jason, by the way?
I do, actually. That's what I was waiting for, a topic to switch, because I'm sure this scrub will have thoughts on this.
It's really to open the window because you're going to see my undies. Zenkai power.
Is Dave singing to me?
Yes. Dave, did you turn off your camera?
Not intentionally.
Can you turn it back on?
I don't see him.
This isn't my fault.
He has no idea how he does.
It turned off as soon as Jason added, so I didn't do that. But I'm going to use this opportunity to open my window anyway.
Okay.
Okay,
because that's 1,000,000 degrees here.
I missed a couple of subjects, it looks like.
Yes. Because we started like half hour ago, so you're late.
Yes, I am. But in my defense, I picked up 2 big booty women.
Sorry, viewers out there who may have wanted to see my peen.
Not today, Zerg.
Not today, Zerg. Yeah, not today, Satan. Be sure to message me on my private Discord, and I'll send you all the nudes. No shame. No shame here.
No guarantees whose they are, but he will send them.
Yeah, they might be Jason's nudes.
I will not let you keep them. I told you that. They was for your eyes only.
So his audio sounds great, other than the fact that I can't understand a word he's saying.
It's a little quiet.
It's extremely quiet.
He's not used to that. Move the mic a little closer.
How about now? Talk.
Radio check, radio check.
Is that better?
Okay, everyone's really quiet, but I'm using these new headphones, so I'm not.
So, Ryan, how do you hear me?
Sounds good to me. I can adjust my own audios to make it sound good enough.
Okay. You need to get on point, Dave.
I think your volume is just low, and Ryan just has it tweaked so it's not on his end.
Maybe.
Sure.
But, I mean...
Because I literally can't hear a word he's saying, other than that.
I mean, I adjusted it earlier. As a move, I tested out with...
You should have a you should have a gain thing on that. Not volume, gain.
On the snowball? Like on the
On
mic
the
itself?
Yes.
No, there's no switches on the
I don't see no
itself.
switch on it whatsoever. I would have to adjust it in the computer.
I mean, is it jacked up enough on your end? Like, is it actually, like, recording? It's not going to be super quiet?
I mean, I'm pretty sure if he can hear Jack.
I mean, anything I can hear is what Stream can hear, so...
Okay.
So yeah, the next topic would be kind of the benefits of structure deck as a point of entry, and how the cheap $30 structure deck allows a lot of newer players and budget players to enter the competitive scene with very minimal financial
Searching.
putting a lot of money down, essentially.
In this case, Salamediocres.
In this case, Salamediocres. In the past, it's been the Pendulum structure deck, the Monarch structure deck,
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, Masked Heroes. There's been a lot of really good buy 3 of this deck and go compete. And I think the ability to kind of pump those out every once in a while to bring new and cheaper blood into the competitive scene is a really good idea. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Me personally, I've always considered the structure deck to be grandest of all base form, because it gets you to the point of the deck where it's actually felt out. Whether you're just learning or you just can't afford to go out buy a individual.
Mm-hmm.
There's hardly never a fault with the structure outside whether or not the okay.
What do you think the best structure deck has been in the past 5 years or so?
Soul Burner.
I think that's a no-brainer.
The Monarch one is probably an arguably
one of the better ones.
It's probably number 2.
Top 5.
It's probably number 2 because when the Hero one came out, Masked Heroes as a deck were okay. They were like tier 2 rogue at best, and more people were like, Shadalls were just like, yeah, it's really cool that you're using that as a pure deck, but I'm a better deck, and I'm just gonna put Dark Law on my deck and do better with him. So screw yourself. Like it was like
Mass Change 2 made Masked Heroes just splashable rather than their own deck.
Yeah. So I don't know if that really counts. Monarchs were a very good deck. They were a tier 1 deck. I would even say that the Monarch deck for its time was more powerful than the Salamandreat for its time, but the deck itself, the structure deck itself, wasn't as good. Like, it didn't have the reprints that Soul Burner has. So it's like the deck you make with 3 of them is a better deck, but the cards you get out of this one are more generally useful, I think, because like you can't use Monarch Stormforth in much other than Monarchs or Pantheism or whatever. Yeah, but you can definitely use Ash and Gozu Match in like everything. So, like, I think that's a more valuable structure deck in that sense. Why are we talking about Dice Foon?
Why aren't we talking about Dice Foon?
Was Dice Foon in one of these? Was it in Soul Burner?
I don't know. I didn't really look at much of the cards. I glanced through them once. I was like, oh, hey, look.
Ash Blossoms.
ABC was another one that.
Yeah, see that one. That one's probably, I would argue, 3 or 4. I would say that Heroes are probably 3 or 4, and they're sitting next to ABCs, because ABCs.
Well, those legendary decks. Because remember, ABC came out with the second little Kaiba. It wasn't just came with 3 different. It wasn't just pure ABCs. It was everything Kaiba had to do. People just to expose.
Structure Deck Kaiba Reloaded had ABCs in it. It had all the cards you'd want. It had Buster Dragon A, B, and C, and the Union Hanger. They got reprinted later, but they were all in one deck.
Yeah,
it wasn't
ABC structure. It was Kaiba. It was more like a starter because there was other stuff inside.
Yeah, I think it was a structure deck by name though. Plus, I mean,
because the Exodia one came in that one too, and it came up with Obliterate.
I think you're mistaken. I think you're thinking something else.
I think you're wrong.
We're not wrong.
I think this one was standalone.
The biggest disappointment when it comes to structure decks, I think, is, as Wiggs mentions, is the Lair of Darkness.
Yes. Yeah, the ABC structure deck was a standalone deck. It wasn't in that box.
Yeah, it wasn't in the Legendary Decks box. That was Phantom Knights, Odd Eyes, and...
No, he's thinking... I mean, it's the one with the Kaiba, Joey, Yugi one.
Oh, right, the one before that?
Yeah.
That's right.
That wasn't ABCs, though. That might have been in it, but that wasn't...
Right.
What they came out in. I would say Layer of Darkness...
which is more overhyped than it.
It was overhyped. I mean, the whole deck's intuitive. It's like inherently a 2-card combo. Doesn't matter how good that is. If you can't just blow your opponent out with 1 card, the deck's bad.
Yeah.
That's just what happens in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it's a great 2-card combo. Tributing your opponent's crap for your virus card that's a fantastic 2-card combo.
Right.
But if you just have the virus, or if you just have the field spell, you lost that duel. So, that's what happens when you don't draw both, scrub. So, I honestly think that Layer of Darkness might see some play later. Like, Diablos is in Thunder Dragon simply because some asshole decided to word Colossus as a tribute and not a contact fusion.
Right.
Asshole. so they could summon Diablos over the summon. But I think down the road we might actually see that deck function better if it either gets some involuntary support or ends up being a decent engine in something else. Thanks, Jason. Even though you got a better mic, you've managed to find a new way to pollute the audio.
Boys, come get the phone. It's your mother.
There is such a thing as a mute button.
I'm gonna hit it now.
Oh, this is the part where what?
I love you guys so much.
Quality pressing of that mute button.
I was trying to get to it, but by then they took the phone. I was actually ready to hit the hang up button.
Dave, did you play Dinos? For all but 3 seconds.
All but 3 seconds? You played it constantly?
You said that.
I don't know. I tried it for a little while. Seemed I don't know.
Dave is a tier infinity Aqua Actress player.
Pretty much. If I'm gonna be playing a shitty deck, it's gotta I don't know. There's gotta be something about it that I find charming, I guess. Aqua Actresses can put a level 1 4K beater on board. That's funny. UAs can brick you would never believe. That's funny. I don't know. Dinosaurs had this weird habit of just you had 2 plays. It was make Logia or make that stupid Conductor Tyranno. And it was wow, that looks like that gets boring after 5 duels. I don't know. I couldn't I couldn't get into it. I was like, it's got 2 plays. Like that's how boring. It's not a bad deck by any stretch of the imagination. It's actually quite good, and it had some staying power because those 2 plays are really good. So I don't know. It's personal preference, completely subjective.
What are your thoughts on, moving on to another topic, what are your thoughts on learning a bunch of decks or really focusing in on one and mastering it?
As a Yugi tuber, I can tell you that I need to at least have some sort of top level understanding about how every deck works if I ever plan on actually talking about it. Do I keep up as much as I'd like? Absolutely not. But I'm still at least keeping my head in the current meta. Like I could stumble through Thunder Dragon Danger, I could stumble through Salamangreat, and I could stumble through Sky Striker. I at least know some top level way of how they work. And all that does is take away from me learning how to play my deck very well. It's probably there's a reason why Yugi tubers are bad Yu-Gi-Oh players, because we spend more time making videos and about different decks and things than actually learning a deck. Like competitive players, like true competitive players, don't make videos and do this crap. They spend most of their time traveling between regionals and like stuff like that and mastering a deck. So it really comes down to what you want your objective to be. My objective is to have fun with the game, make a YouTube channel, make some people laugh, and if it pays a little money on the side, then that's fun. Would I love a regional top, before I die, or quit the game, or both? Sure, I'd love one. But if it was my true 100% objective was to do that, I wouldn't be doing all this crap, because you can't expect to top anything unless you put the work in. And half of it is learning one deck and learning it really well.
And not only that, you have to learn every other deck.
Just to learn how to beat it.
So not only do you have to take the time to learn your deck really well, you have to take the time to learn what to stop of your opponent's decks really well, and how your deck stops that. So it's not just that. I know how all these decks work, and I have 15 deck boxes in my bag of cores that I'll never play, but it really is.
Trent, are you making jokes now?
I wasn't saying who had those 15 cores in his bag when he visited me for a regional, but if you wanna make that clear, we can definitely go there.
It's mostly because I don't want to put them away.
No, that's fine. I need more deck boxes. Yeah, no, it is a time thing. You can be the jack of all trades and master of none, but if you have enough time, you can be master of all.
True.
With this game expand.
Yeah.
My turn.
Kieran says, I like to call this point Kieran dueling play versus J Voids.
You guys are always ripping into J Voids.
Always. That's a constant. All right. Do you want to try adding the other patrons to the chat or to the call? You want to try joining that one?
Thank you, Ryan.
Infinite impermanence kitty. Are you infinite impermanencing the kitty?
Huh?
Just trying to stop him from puking on Dave.
He was retching a little bit. He didn't puke though. I didn't hear him.
Okay.
These headphones you gave me though are a little sound canceling, so it's very possible he did.
So we respond.
I like the way they sound. They're good. They're good headphones.
Yeah, and they don't look so derpy on my head. Like I never considered what the headphones looked like to be very important until I'm piping my face onto the internet. So then maybe it is a little important
for all 3 people.
All 66. Ryan.
54.
I'm getting 67.
All right, good. There's more than I thought. Let's see.
By the way, Jason, your mic sounds good, even though I can't hear a word you're saying.
Well, I appreciate that. Went out into the advice of one named Ron, hashtag Team Better Dave.
I wasn't going to tell you to buy that mic.
I said the advice of Ryan. It was specifically putting it out.
I could have told you to buy that mic, but I was like, I don't really know if I should tell my friends, here, go buy this $50 mic. I don't know what.
Yeah, do it and volunteer to sit here because we are.
I'm like, I don't know how much disposable income you have. I'm not gonna make you do that.
All right,
It's okay. I'll get it from you later.
I'm just gonna add people to this call because last time I tried to switch calls, Predator's thing just borked the whole thing.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm gonna get some water. I need to take my acid reflux pill because my chest is on fire. I'm an old man, and I'm doing my very best to concentrate on what I'm talking about instead of feeling like I want to puke. So
fair enough.
Next on your list, going sack. I'm in third.
What?
I'm looking at the live stream.
Yes.
On the list of things about going sack.
These aren't antacids.
Oh yeah.
These are Vicodins. Better take 4.
No, Dave.
Opioids.
Don't do it. You're better than this. That part is you can't hear us right now.
I'm friggin'.
Yeah, come back with a shirt half off, trying to do a Harlem Shake.
Dave said Vicodins. He's making a joke, right, Dave? It's a joke.
It was a joke. Dave can't hear us. He took his headset off.
It's true. Gummy Vicodins. It's a gummy worm.
That's it's so good. I can't stop it.
He said Molly.
Hey, ho, let's go. Oops.
One last thing before we move on, Dave.
I'm back and have headphones on, so I can now hear you.
What are you, Pert Hapley?
I didn't understand that reference.
What are your thoughts on the gearing your entire deck to go second and building a go second deck?
Jason,
okay.
Do you want to start us on this?
Sure. I've noticed the players that actually do that have a slightly higher success than someone played. It is just another form of side deck. Playing second means you want to can either play like.
Yeah, Jason, you're cutting out like crazy. So
okay, so how about that? Is that better?
I don't think it's the mic. I think it's
I bet you it is a setting. If it's automatically trying to compensate for your audio.
Wow, that's really messed up. It was working fine before.
That was better.
It was better.
Okay.
I think
to recap a little bit of what I said was
you were doing too much Allstate.
Oh, too much bass. Are you?
No, I think if you, I think you might have a setting on your mic where if you stop speaking, it cuts audio to it, so it's not just recording a bunch of in the background.
The idea is to not pollute the audio.
Yes. So if you just keep talking with the stream of thought and actually not pause at all and just kind of keep making noise, it'll keep the mic open, so it doesn't ever do that. So you just got to keep going. That's
just going to be a whole lot, but I'm going to try to sum it up without actually taking a breath.
That is too much. Let me sum up. All right, go for it.
All right, here we go. People who do that generally have a higher success rate. So I think it's just as important here to go second as it is to just side deck for the deck that you're playing. I've actually gotten accustomed a little bit more to doing that because 90% of the people who are playing strategies are going first intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're dying to win the dice rolls unless they got one of the big beater decks. Did that all come through?
Yeah. No, I think the last, I don't know how long the results have been, but definitely for the last, at least this format, I think, with a new ban list, a lot of the topping decks have been blind go second. Dave played against a Thunder Dragon player who just didn't know what he was playing against and just sided in Denko's because he knew he was going to go second. So just the blind hard go second. You know, main the impermanence, main the evenly matches, main the ash blossoms and all that. Just play through your opponent's board and either OTK or break it. Seems to be a very successful strategy right now.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about making a go second deck is a lot of decks want to go first. They need to go first. So if you lose the die roll, they will choose to go first, which makes you go second. Or if you win the die roll, you just choose to go second. So it's more consistent to go second. I think you, for instance, said that you almost never won a die roll, and you went second a lot. So, like, it's obviously, if you tell your deck to go second, you can remove some of the random chance from the whole thing. Like, oh, well, if my deck is good at going second, I'm probably going to always be going second. So that's a consistency thing. It's a different type of consistency, but it's consistency nonetheless, and that is important for deck building. However,
the other thing to putting go second cards in your deck is that when you go into game 2, you can side those out if you lost. So you know you can choose to go first. So you can side out a bunch of go second cards if you want to.
Yeah, I guess easy side cards is never a bad thing. Like, I always like when my deck has like 4 or 5 tech choices in it, and I'm like, oh, well, these are bad going second. I'll take these out. That's nice. Like, I don't feel like I'm hurting my engine to do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I will say, if you could main the evenly matches and the impermanences and the hand traps, and you can make a really powerful go second deck, you will have success right now, but in a month or two, you will not.
Right.
Because it's the same thing with battle traps. Battle traps do this. We're like, no one plays battle traps. Battle traps are bad. Everyone knows battle traps are bad until Thunder Dragon Dangers smacks 2 Titans and a Colossus into your Storming Mirror Force, and you blow him out of the freaking water because he didn't expect that. So everyone's like, oh my god, battle traps are broke now. Everyone's going to play battle traps. And then battle traps are bad again because everyone's playing them. So going second decks do exactly the same thing. Though the jackass who decided to make a go second deck won the tournament because he's the only one doing that. Everyone's making him go second. His deck wants to go second, so therefore he did very well. But once everyone starts doing that, that loses a lot of its potency, because if we're both playing a go second deck, I might just opt to go first, or I might make you go first. Because, like, I want to go second, so yeah, sure, you can go first. Like I'm not gonna pick that. So then it becomes bad. It's the same thing with like 60 card decks during grass format.
Right.
Like,
when everyone was playing 60 cards, grass was useless.
It was bad. It's useless now.
Really funny. A couple of the points brought up in the chat is going second also gives you another card, so you have one more resource in hand to do stuff. And if you open up a hand trap, you can disrupt your opponent, and then you still get that draw.
Yeah, so you go less minus.
And the other thing would be the Lunalight deck was a good example of a deck that wants to go second so it can win, but it also has a great first turn stun ability and as a thought.
So it's like, if it had to go first, it's not the end of the world kind of thing.
Right.
I think that's the problem with something like Cyber Dragons. Like, that's a great go second deck. But go first, it's because it's like
Infinity
Bass, maybe. Like help it sticks.
Yeah. All right, I think that's all I got for topics. The last topic on the list here is irrelevant.
You mean about how you deal with the annihilation of the Goblin Slayer?
Yes, that one. This is what happens when I give Dave access to Google Documents.
I mean, I don't know how you would deal with the annihilation of the Goblin Slayer or from Goblin Slayer, because if you've already been annihilated by him,
I'm just
really
gonna
not
deal.
it's kind of not your concern anymore because you're dead. You don't care much about anything actually at that point. So
pretty much. All right, I think.
While you're doing that, I'm not positive the extra draw is a really good point.
Okay.
Only because if your deck's built to go second, that's just a happy accident. It's like not the reason why you did it. Because even a go first deck enjoys the benefit of the extra draw if it's made to go second. So that's not an advantage of a go second deck. That's an advantage of going second, which is kind of not the same thing. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I guess the whole point was it mitigates kind of the Ash discard going.
It's to its benefit, of course.
Yes. It's not a reason to build the deck to go second, but it definitely helps mitigate that. All right, let me try adding Predator to this.
No. Okay. Oh God. I shouldn't get pizza.
I thought you were changing up your diet.
I'm gonna add everybody who's.
I am, and I've been doing really good. I was like, you know what? I've been really good. Let's have some pizza today. And I was like, let me get like hot sauce, banana peppers, and jalapenos.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, this works.
Oh no, we can hear you.
What are you gonna be rude?
Oh no.
Oh no.
So would you like to do some Yu-Gi-Oh, Dave?
No.
Do you want to watch me stumble through salmon grates?
Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, we can duel Ryan if you want.
I should probably try to see if I can get my opponent for the character tournament.
That's probably something you should.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm dropping out of the character tournament.
Yeah, I never entered you.
Oh good, thank you.
You didn't respond to literally anyone, so we're like, well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I totally did.
You don't have a deck, and you're not in your AWOL, so.
How does he not have a deck? How is he just not playing cubics? He's a
I've been
resident
incredibly
Cubics
busy, so
He chose Taya's counter fairies.
I chose it because I wanted to make a
there goes with the angle.
Skull Angle Turbo.
No, it was
Activate Skull Angle's effect.
I want to make like a Guru control with that spicy Skull Angle tech. That's what.
I was playing that deck against PT Devil. We actually made a video on it. It's on his channel if you want to check it out.
No, I don't. But okay.
But it basically turned into Fossil Dyna Moon Mirror Shield.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you can main it.
They main Fossil Dyna Moon Mirror Shield?
Yeah.
That's just a good combo. That's not really a good deck.
Oh no, the deck was awful.
But if you open Fossil Dyna Moon Mirror Shield, your opponent's gonna have a bad day.
I didn't have a fairy in the deck at all.
Where's that damn Squirt Squid deck? That's what I want. I want to see.
Ew, what's the matter with you?
It's a card.
Squirt Squid. Squirt Squid might have some of the most clever card design of a card ever. When it's attacked, it moves to an adjacent column because it's like a squid. And
it squirts and then it evades and everything. Yeah.
It evades an attack and it leaves an ink token in its place. Like you spooked it and it inked and ran away. Like it's so good.
You guys made me
ink. Like it's such good card design. And the card's so bad because it's like you can make a deck or a card based around some sort of real life thing and build a game mechanic around it and it'll be super clever, but that's always a bad thing. Like UAs are super clever. You have an offense and you have a defense and you switch between them and you play defense on your opponent's turn, you play offense on your turn. Like it's a sport deck.
Right.
Like it's so clever. And it's so bad. Like
Speaking of a sport, Ryan, did you hear that the Patriots won Super Bowl?
I've been putting this off for 3 weeks. It's about time.
No, that's all I'm going to say.
You figured that the topic would have expired by now, so it was safe.
Yeah, I could hope. I did hear that. I watched the game. I was disappointed in it.
I was disappointed. I was disappointed because it wasn't a very good game.
Well, it was a technical game.
It was a good game. It just wasn't a flashy game.
It was boring.
Well, it was a defensive game.
Honestly, the best thing about that game was Tony Romo.
It was like a soccer sport.
He finally made it to a Super Bowl.
Yes, and he did a phenomenal job of making that incredibly technical defensive game interesting.
Yeah.
I will give them that.
There was nothing to the offense until the fourth quarter, literally.
No.
But it was like you had those people pay $3,000 a ticket for like a Maroon 5 concert and a field goal. Like,
Yep.
I mean, if you're a Pats fan, that's amazing. But if you're like a Rams fan, I would be super.
If you're a Rams fan or a
Maroon 5 fan.
Or a Saints fan.
I paid $3,000 to watch Adam Levine take his shirt off. Son of a bitch! Your stupid California tattoo is stupid.
The parodies of that were hilarious, though. I will give them that.
I was saying all his tattoos were stupid, and I got yelled at by my family.
I thought some of them were okay. The California one's dumb. Like, is he even from there? I think he's probably from there, right? Like,
I don't think so.
It's like he just looked at the flash sheet at the guy's like, all right, what do you want? And he just
he was
binder. He was like, you know what? Just give me all of it. Just
he was born in LA.
I got money.
Are we dueling Ryan or no?
I am building the
give me all of it.
Salamediocres.
And that's not just me being salty because he's in better shape than I am.
I'm building the Streamlabs view right now. Since
I mean, you're in good shape, right? I mean, Dave.
I'm in okay shape.
Well, it's better than bad.
I'm not in Adam Levine shape. I mean, he's a handsome man too. Like it's not a jealousy thing. I can admit that. Just his California tattoos dumb.
I didn't say it was
a little bit of a jealousy thing, but
I mean, certainly his California tattoo looks better because he's in shape. Like if he was like fat and had that dumb.
Could you imagine if it was Maroon 5 and Red Hot Chili Peppers and they all had their shirts off?
Now, why doesn't he just have Maroon 5 on his stomach? That'd be funny.
That too.
He spelled it wrong. It's like maroon, as in like marooned on an island.
MARRON, Maroon 5. He doesn't ever mention it or anything to see if anyone notices. Like,
you spelled that wrong.
Yeah, you have your band's name wrong. Like,
Moron 5.
Moron 5. That's at least accurate, I suppose.
Moron 5.
Okay.
Or super self-aware.
All right, I am going to host. The
host
password
like avocado
is...
toast.
Avocado?
What do I want the password to be?
Put Navi. You like Zelda, right?
Hey, listen.
The password
Hey, yo, listen
is
to
going to
me.
be Adolf.
Don't make it weird, Dave.
Adolf.
The password is Pat Suck.
What
One
is
word.
that? Well, no, it's got a space.
It has a space. A lowercase.
Suck.
Pat Suck.
I think we can objectively say.
Oh
that
wait,
they
you're
don't
in the
rhyme.
EU. You're not in the US. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry about that.
I don't make such rookie mistakes.
Like Tom Brady.
Shut up, dude. Not in this Super Bowl.
These balls were well inflated.
Talking.
I love the was it the bad
Talking
lip
about
reading?
going second, right?
I love these balls are great.
To me,
They're nice
these
and
balls
firm.
are perfect. I think we can objectively say though, Ryan, the Pats don't suck.
No, they don't.
I'm pretty sure Tom Brady's getting carpal tunnel from all these Super Bowl rings.
You can't hold them all in one hand.
He's like, ow! Oh, God, it's too much.
All right. So I have literally no idea what I'm doing with this.
I didn't open well, so
It's consistent, though. I'll give them that.
yeah, I consistently don't open well. That's good. Yeah.
So why did you just? Oh, you didn't have Foxy. Okay.
You probably had Foxy.
Foxy, get Book of Moon.
Yep, pretty much. Feels bad.
Feels bad.
Pats are like Zodiac's pre-ban. I don't know why I don't know why I get all this garbage. I'm from New England and I like the Patriots. You know, it's kind of weird if I wouldn't.
I mean,
Because I don't know, they're a good team, and they're like basically that makes them the bad guy.
Yeah, I gotta be a Jets fan. They haven't been good since like 1968.
I mean, I don't think anyone expects you to not be, but if you're like the bad guy team, I think that makes you the bad guy.
I am a bad guy.
Yes.
It's the fans that make people hate the team. Y'all getting it back.
pretty much.
I don't think so. I don't think that's
Nope.
necessarily true.
No, the New England fans, the Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh, here we
Us.
go, Cowboys fans. Oh.
They're the reasons why you hate. You could have one good play. Everyone knows Tom Brady is a
fantastic
good
quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go that far. He's old now, and I'm just going to say
You
I
mean
want
he's
him-
gotten better with age? What are you talking about?
He's like a fine wine.
Don't call
Exactly.
him a
And
fine
he's
wine.
he's a
He is not
handsome
fine-
man. He's a handsome boy.
Even though he's older than you.
Yes, daddy.
You just had to get him started.
I could be his tailback any day.
Ah.
I'll be your D line.
Yeah, like
I'll block on your center anytime.
I'll sack him.
Uh,
Wait, what?
but let Jason finish his thought.
I don't even think I can anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I know what you mean that the Pats fan are like that. I'm not like that because
No, it's the way they come off. It's when you have a certain amount of pride in your team. Your team wins, it makes you extra prideful, and it makes everyone else who didn't win extra salty. Me, unfortunately, I'm from New York, so what does that mean? I get represented by fucking Eli Manning, and
And Geno Smith.
New York has.
he's not even on the team anymore.
New York, we have
Yeah,
this
currently,
cool. But New York, we have tons of options. We got three teams.
Yeah, but whoever wants to be like a willingful like Jets fan.
I mean, but I think
No,
we have so many
the
options. We
diehard
have a
Jets fan
bad
is still
team
there.
in upstate New York, and we have two bad teams down here. Like,
Well, I mean,
what
like
more could you
Buffalo,
want?
Buffalo had Chip Kelly for 4 years. I mean, all those years of Chip Kelly.
Jim?
Huh?
Jim Kelly.
Oh,
Chip-
excuse me, Jim.
Chip Kelly.
I know who Chip Kelly is. I messed up again.
Again.
I don't even know who Chip Kelly is.
He's the former head coach of the Eagles, who's now the coach of UCLA.
Ryan, are you just making moves because they come up as an option?
Yes,
That's not me. That's Ryan.
he's clicking around. He's
I
Dave
was-
clicking right now.
I was trying to make a play, but I don't think I'm running one of the cards for some reason.
Well, why don't you come sail away with me?
Bum 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 ba bum bum bum
Bum, bum, ba-da, ba-da, bum.
And I guess I gotta.
Yeah,
I guess you
he's making
gotta.
his way.
I mean, it makes him neg.
A little bit.
But he wanted to do that.
Reveal 3. Special soak on.
Which one? One of these makes me attack into it, right?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
That's dupe frog.
You're a dupe frog.
5,000. That's like. Yes.
Do you
Reach your field
use Xiaoming Gray Fear Spare?
Wow.
Did you? What the hell was that? It's so tiny I can't read the card.
Did you boost your own life points so you wouldn't die to that stupid effect?
Yes.
Well, I mean, he also, because it wasn't destroyed by battle, it can't attack again.
That's
Mwah.
cute.
So no, I'm not just clicking around and Dave.
That's why I wanted to pop that thing, and then he activated Roar.
Oh, I know. It's the worst.
That's okay.
It's just Dave clicking. Go
Dave
on,
clicking.
Floyd.
All the Dave.
Ooh, look! Ooh, look! Special summons! Ooh, look! Special summons!
Oh, look what I can do! Look what I can do!
I mean, if you're randomly kicking around, I mean, you learn how the deck works, at least. You know,
So
it's not
pretty
like
much Ryan's just frailing around fish out of water.
I am flailing around.
cowboy
look.
for game. Yeah, we need some cowboys here for game.
It wouldn't,
Oh
it
my
wouldn't
God,
be a
see, I
Ryan
knew it.
deck if
It
he didn't
just-
have Dweller in his extra deck. For all those blind first dwellers.
If I lose this, I'm going to be very
Let's
upset.
do this. Yeah. Yeah.
Who is Michael Hickman? Oh.
Yeah.
Pikel?
Pikel. Hey there, smooth skin.
What?
All out New Vegas. Hey there, smooth skin.
What?
Hey there,
No.
smooth skin.
Hey there, smooth skin.
Now, no, Pikel was that Rick and Morty character. He was like a cooking show guy.
Oh, God, Dave, and Rick and Morty.
And his brother Michael was his conjoined twin.
Oh, is that the one where he was a newscaster, too?
Yeah, no, Michael was the newscaster. Pikel was the cooking show guy.
What was it,
And
like
they were-
Cat Dog?
And then filmed their shows at the same time. There's a lot in production. Screw you, Pikel. Screw you, Michael. Just because you were born first, you got a real name, and then I came out and it's like, I call him Pikel.
Oh, if he was Michael, why didn't they call him, like,
Yeah, that's fine.
Uriel or
His
something like that?
his first brother was Michael, so then he comes out, and his parents must have been like, there's another one. Pikel.
They could have done it the G.I. Joe way. Tomax and Zaymont. I guess I'm the only one who watched G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Nice catch, Blanco Nino. Too bad your ass got sacked.
Goku Blanco.
Well, with less. Okay.
Blanco Nino.
It means what, white kid?
Yeah, white boy.
Hey there. Oh, never mind, I'm not going to say it.
Blanco.
Hey there, Bato.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Bato means, dude.
Verde Gringo.
So, green guy.
Where's Jason? Is he dead?
He's muted. He's probably, like, hitting his kid.
Dark.
Hit his kids.
Right? He has kids, right? Like,
Yes,
how
he
many?
has 3.
Why so many?
Okay. Because I adopt him, Batman.
Because I'm Batman.
Yeah, two of them are actually stepchildren.
One of them is, he's trying to train to become Robin.
Actually,
Actually, I already have my Robin training. My oldest is my Robin.
That's garbage, Ryan.
Garbage.
Why did
Yo,
you
you
put
need
one
to
other
do-
one in attack mode? You couldn't do that?
Probably could have.
Why do these things have a random fusion?
Because they were one of the dudes from the anime or whatever.
Green white person. Well, Gringo is not really white person. It's
Gringo is like what, outsider?
I mean, it's used for white people, and it's derogatory.
That's like what do those Japanese people call us when we go there?
I don't know.
Genjis?
Round eye. Gaijing.
Gaijings? Is that the right word?
I think it's Gaijing. Why do I know
Gaijin.
that?
Oh yeah, Gaijin. Isn't Jin like demon? So are they calling us like outside demon?
You be the devil, yeah.
Gaijin
White
Goomba.
people
That's why I know that.
White people are the devil. It's all right. You heard what happened in his
Let me ask. White devil, white devil, white devil.
I mean, they shouldn't have started that word. Yeah, white devil. That makes sense. Hey, we didn't start that war, but we finished it.
What do I want to do with that?
I'm pretty sure you started it too, and I don't
It's
even know
in
which
the
war it is.
bone.
Someone's correcting your game. It's a guy and then Gin.
Jin is demon, but Arabic
Gaijin?
Japanese demons are Akuma.
Gaijin.
Okay,
Jin
you
denotes
have
you're
one
from a
shot
place.
predator.
What
Jin
about
is a-
what about the genie in the lamp?
That's a Jin.
That's a Jin with a D.
DJIN or whatever.
You guys are such nerds.
Also, a Jin and a genie aren't quite the same thing. I think a genie is a genie that's bound to a master. A Jin is
Bound
like a
to a
rogue
lamp.
genie.
Yeah, one's a slave. The other one's like not a slave.
What is that?
And
do?
one
like a-
does.
It's like a
one
Ronin
does
genie.
really unnecessary things.
I target to negate the effects on people.
I dream of fucking genie.
Well,
Why would you
Wow.
do that?
I don't know.
Wow, you're gonna get yourself demonetized. Okay, what are you doing, Ryan?
I'm clicking things.
I dream of Will Smith.
He's-
That's what I'm
Oh,
doing.
God.
Rude son of a bitch.
I don't know why you're doing that. It's not like you actually have game.
No.
This is the story all about how my life got shoved into a lamp.
To a lamp.
Did you just? I am baffled and confused by that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I wasn't paying attention, and then I
This is the story all about how my
started
life
paying attention.
lay
And then,
down.
yeah, it was.
Itty bitty living space.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
So now
I'm
you're
not exactly sure why they picked Will Smith for this.
Well, they needed someone popular.
Yeah, I get that, but why Will
Popular.
Smith? Like that seems.
Well, I mean, because like literally, you can color him in,
You gotta be popular.
right? Because you're gonna color him blue anyway. So who cares, right?
Well, yeah, but Will Smith's personality is very like cool, collected, and sarcastic, which is like decidedly not,
And streetwise too.
and kind of not the genie.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
a genie has to be like.
The genie's he's kind of
It's a big
wacky and
transition
insane.
from Robin Williams to Will Smith.
I mean, like, let's be frank. One of them killed himself, so you can't bring him back.
That was not needed to be spoken out loud.
Unless you had a genie.
Yeah, unless you had a genie to wish him
So
back.
you're gonna
Yeah.
use Will Smith to
Or
wish
the
back
Dragon
Robin
Balls?
Williams?
Probably more the Dragon Balls. I don't know if the genie can wish back people from the dead. No, he said he can't. He
No.
specifically said he
No.
wouldn't.
No. He said he wouldn't. He doesn't like
Wow. All right, you win, GG. Just attack already.
I can't wish people back from the dead. No, yeah, he
doing
said
it. It's
he-
not a pretty picture, and I don't like doing it.
Don't like doing it.
Yeah, because
He doesn't-
it's
he doesn't
because
like doing
he
it.
can. It's just that they don't come back healthy. They come back like as like however they are currently decayed but alive. So they probably
And that's
die
why
again.
the Dragon Balls are better. Magical Wish
Well,
Dragon number one.
I mean, you're talking about the Namekian Dragon Balls.
Dude. Last time
No, all
on Dragon
Dragon
Ball
Balls.
Z.
All Dragon Balls wish people back in a better form. They just
Not the Earth ones. You can only do it one time, right?
I think they changed it. I think when Dende
No.
made the Dragon
when
Balls,
they became
I
the
think
new
he-
ruler.
I think they gave him
No,
two
no.
wishes instead
Little
of one.
green.
Also,
They had
like
the two wishes because they wanted multi-res, but you can't. They didn't allow people to wish back.
Multi-res.
We can't explain this in one resurrection.
they also, I think didn't they change it so that like you don't need to preserve the body anymore.
That's why Frieza came back as pieces, right?
yeah. So
Or
even
maybe-
though even
Or
though
did they just
Yamcha
forget
was
that they had to do
exploded,
that? Because like, they were like in Dragon Ball, they were actually like preserving people's bodies before they wished them back. So
Exactly. Yeah.
Great monsters. Okay.
no, they did not.
Yeah, they did. They
No,
put
no,
they
no.
put they put Krillin, Master Roshi into a little.
Okay,
capsule.
I'll give you a perfect example. They wished back Tien, right? Tien lost his arm in the fight with Nappa. When he got wished back, he had both his hands.
Well, yeah, but that's because Akira Toriyama forgets stuff.
Yeah. I mean, well, also
Like he
because
forgot that in the entire
And Chaozu
original Dragon
exploded.
Yeah, like,
Chaozu-
he forgot that in the entire original Dragon Ball series, they were like putting people in refrigerators before they wished them back, so they wouldn't rot. Like they.
I
You
mean, like
can't-
just look at
Chaozu
Trunks' hair. Like,
exploded.
future Trunks' hair. It's with
He
purple.
just
blue.
self-destruct.
Yeah, if you wish Chaozu back, they'd be like, I mean,
They did.
I
He
mean,
got wished
I
back at the
can,
same
but
time.
I don't think you want me to.
And the only other stipulation the Dragon Balls had, it couldn't wish somebody who died of natural cause. That's why Grandpa.
No, wait.
Gohan
Didn't Chaozu died twice because he died against one of the evil demon clans.
King Piccolo.
Yeah, King Piccolo killed him or something like that. And then they used the Namekian Dragon Balls to bring him back. So that's why he got brought
The
back.
second time. No. The first time it was the Earth Dragon Balls.
Yeah, the second time
Because
was the
it-
Namekians, yeah.
The second time it was Namekian. And though the Namekian balls are bigger and better than the Earth one,
Well,
All right, I'm
because
hosting.
it's
I'm
like-
hosting again. Same password.
I mean, it's mainly because
Maybe.
who is it? Like not Piccolo and what's the dude's name? The other Piccolo's name? Yami?
No.
Kami?
Kami. Yeah. They were one dude, right?
Yami?
not Yami, that's a pharaoh.
Yeah, could you imagine?
They were
a
one
long time
dude,
ago
right?
when the pyramids were still young. And
Who
somehow
are
also
dueling.
Dragon Ball.
So who's dueling Ryan? Anybody
I don't know.
dueling Ryan? I mean, I'll duel Ryan again. if nobody wants to.
Rexlet, I miss Launch. Yeah, there you go. See, that's somebody that Akira Toriyama.
That's he forgot launch. Oh,
Well, didn't she show up in like the?
She
in the
has a
dub, right?
couple of episodes in the Saiyan saga where she's like hanging out with Tien, and that's about it.
That's about.
I
it.
don't think that's accurate.
That is 100% accurate. I literally just watched it.
Yeah. No, that's true. I remember.
No, see, Jason's just an old man and has never watched the redub of Dragon Ball.
The redub of
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. is
Wait, are
terrible.
you trying to say because I don't like freaking Kai?
No,
Oh,
you,
yeah.
no, your knowledge of the Saiyan saga is probably only the Ocean dub, which was the Saiyan saga is supposed to be like umpteen amount of episodes, and the Ocean dub chopped it down to half that. So there's like Raditz's fight is like 4 episodes. It's not like 1.5 like it is in the Ocean dub.
where he just fights Piccolo and then Piccolo shoots him.
Yeah, like they actually cut out a ton. There is an entire episode
Yeah.
where Launch, Tien, and Chaozu are fucking around for an entire episode. She's like
Yeah.
robbing a bank, comes over, Tien and Chaozu are trading under a waterfall, and she's like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And she's like, "I'm gonna make you food with the stolen freaking money." And like Tien's just annoyed and wants her to go away.
I've seen that. I could have sworn that was part of the original.
No, that was the Saiyan saga.
I don't remember that part.
it's all-
I remember Launch and Tien hanging out, but I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Because that was his girlfriend.
Yeah. Now he's
They
just an
chopped a
old
lot of it
lonely
out.
man.
Like I watched the Funimation redub of the Saiyan saga, and the very first episode is Gohan loafing about in the woods, and I'm like, I have never seen this before in my life. I had no idea this even
Oh
happened.
yeah, that's when he got. I think he fell off a cliff and hung on a tree, and Goku came up with Nimby.
Yeah, like in like the Ocean dub, that doesn't happen. They just like go right to Master Rosa's house, and they're like they meet Raditz. Like it all happens like in one episode.
Because some of that stuff is unnecessary.
Well,
Yeah,
that
it truly is. Like, I understand why
I
they
wanna-
did it.
Well, they wanted character building moments. I actually think the series is better with the filler in it. It's just that the Ocean dub, they were trying to get Dragon Ball Z to work on American television, which had never had anime on it whatsoever at all at that point.
No, that's
'cause
not
it was
true.
Like, it was like
They had-
19.
No, they had Speed Racer. What do you mean?
Yeah, and that was like 10 years before or more, and that was
More.
it.
I watched Speed Racer. It's actually one of my favorite animes.
It would have been like a super rerun.
Oh yeah, I know. I watched
Just like the only recent anime before Dragon Ball Z was Dragon Ball, and it did terrible. And so Ocean learned their lesson when they dubbed and
don't forget about Sailor Moon.
I mean, yeah, Sailor Moon.
That was collinear though. That happened at the same time. So what they did was they chopped it down to make it more action oriented in an attempt to sell it to American audience.
Well, I mean,
They truncated the crap out of it.
to be frank, like original Dragon Ball is not as better as Dragon Ball Z.
I would say they're different shows. I really like the original Dragon Ball, but I think Dragon Ball Z, with in its entirety, without the edits, is actually a better series.
I liked the whole King Piccolo saga and everything.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I like the whole Red Ribbon Army, and then including the Red Ribbon Army again in Dragon Ball Z. I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, I think Dragon Ball just ran too long. Some of the arcs were like super. Like the Red Ribbon arc is like way too long. Like,
oh yeah, it's way too long.
There's like Muscle Tower, and then General
the whole
Blue,
assassin thing too,
and then Tao for a while. Like there's like 4 episodes of Tao, mercenary Tao, just hanging around in a town trying to get a suit made. Like, it's like
yeah, it's like pointless. It's like Naruto at that point.
And I think a lot of it was the anime had to wait for the manga to catch up. Every time there's these weird, lengthy fillers.
Yeah. I mean, it's trying to
reach a lot.
Like, what was it? I was watching Dragon Ball Z the other day, and I like I said, I had never actually seen the redub Funimation did for the original Saiyan and part of the Namek saga. I'd only ever seen the Ocean dub, and there's like 4 episodes of Goku fucking around in the hospital after he gets beaten up by Vegeta. Like, I had no idea that happened. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of content that got completely axed. Like,
I actually liked the hospital part because he wasn't at this point like such a Omega level character. He was still like just an average fighter who just learned that he's an alien.
I mean, I will say this: Goku was a pretty good sport about the fact he just learned that he was an alien.
Oh yeah, and then that same alien just wiped out all his friends.
Also, he seemed to not ever.
Technically, Vegeta didn't do any of that. That was all Nappa.
No, Vegeta was in charge. He ordered him to kill them. What do you mean? That's like
yeah, I guess Vegeta is by extension responsible.
That's like if I order you to wipe out a village full of people, and then like all the villagers get pissed at me, and I'm like, well, I didn't kill you guys. That wasn't me. I just ordered him.
Oh, remember it.
And then he just says, well, I was just following orders, so it's really no one's fault. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's your fault. You shouldn't have built your village here.
Yeah.
They just wanted the Dragon Balls. Nobody wanted to give them up. They could have just said the Dragon Balls can't be used for another year. They just say, no, we ain't telling you nothing. Goku's going to come and go win. All right, you going to talk shit?
Also, do you ever notice that Goku, it's either he didn't put 2 and 2 together or just didn't care that the first time he sees Vegeta transform into the Great Ape at the sight of the full moon, he never once thinks, oh, wow, that explains why my grandfather's dead. Like,
well, I think one of the dubs they said that.
This whole time and no one had the fucking balls to tell me. I'm the one that squished my grandpa? What the fuck? Why did no one say anything? Like,
did he know he could become the Great Ape?
No.
No, they lied to him.
Well,
they lied to him. Like, no one had ever told him.
Until he runs into Grandpa Gohan later on.
Yeah, but when he fights Grandpa Gohan doesn't tell him that.
Nobody told him that that's how he died. But I remember in one of the dubs, he saw it and actually tried to blame Vegeta for the death of Grandpa. Like in the original one, they used to.
It might have been the Ocean dub, yeah. They added a lot of crap though in the Ocean dub that wasn't actually canon at all. Like that part where he goes like, "Your father was a great scientist and came up with this light bulb."
Oh, they made it into like.
Superman. Oh, you mean when they wanted to make him Superman?
Yeah, Superman.
For them to 30 years later give him an origin like Superman.
Goku always had a Superman origin, though. That wasn't. They didn't retcon him at all for that.
No.
Toriyama was a giant
originally.
comic book fan.
Originally, Goku was sent to Earth with weak inhabitants just to conquer. They had no clue they was going to die. This homeboy just stuffed him in the pod. It was like, I got to get him off world so he'll survive. You know.
I mean, okay, that's fair.
No, that's what Vegeta thought.
It's very
Goku's
you could say that Raditz and Vegeta had no idea that Goku was sent off world to avoid the destruction. They just assumed he was sent off world to kill Earth, like all the other babies are. You could explain it away. It's a retcon, 100%, but you could at least explain it. Like
there's sleeper cells. That was the idea that conquered.
Yeah, because that was the whole intention. He put him in a pod. It told him to wake up and destroy the Earth. And
that's true, though. The pod was telling Goku to kill all the humans.
And then
really
when the
weird
moon wasn't
if they were
there
like,
no
"Oh,
more,
we're gonna put Goku."
the moon wasn't there no more, so I made a moon hologram, and then Gohan turned into an ape 20 years later.
I mean, like the whole great ape thing. That's a recessive trait. Really, because the other kids like Goten and Trunks, they didn't have tails.
I think
they cut him off.
I think Akira Toriyama admitted that he just simply forgot to give him tails.
Oh, and then he just says it's a recessive trait.
He was like, "Oops!" Like
because they're half.
Like if anyone who should have had a tail, it was freaking Goten. Like he looks just like his dad. Like
yeah, exactly. I mean, look, you talk about Akira Toriyama loving Western fiction. I mean, the whole Future Trunks saga is just Terminator.
It is.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, that's my favorite
Terminator.
I mean, it only would have been Terminator if Trunks came back in time and blinked Bulma.
Hell, no, he's the son. Bro.
How did Vegeta not figure out that's his kid? Right when he has Trunks and Trunks is named Trunks as a baby.
I think he didn't know Trunks' name until Trunks had said it, and then he put it. I think that's when he put two and two together, like on the spot.
No, he didn't know. Remember, because it was just he was the purple-haired stranger.
Yeah, I don't think he said his name to the group until Goku showed up.
I could have sworn Piccolo said his name to the group.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think you're thinking of Team 4-Star.
No, I never watched it. So.
Oh, spoiler alert. That kid's your
Master Dynafax, Dinnerflax, wants to switch us back to the shitty game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion.
I have no idea what I'm doing. But
I was meaning to ask, why is Legendary Fiend the dishonorable mention instead of Winged Effigy?
For what?
For the last video? I understand the fact what he's talking about, even though he gave literally no context for his question. The dishonorable mention for my last list video, I chose Legendary Fiend because Legendary Fiend is an awful freaking card. Wind Effigy is not a terrible card, it just doesn't have a function right now. It would be like saying Snake Rain's a bad card. It's not. It just doesn't have a function.
It'll never have a function.
Once it has a function, potentially, it'll be fine.
It'll be banned immediately.
No, but what I'm saying is, if the card had a function, it's okay.
Yeah.
Legendary Fiend has a function, and it's bad. It's just a bad card. It fucking sucks. So that's why it's because it fucking sucks. The card is stupid.
Dave has a great despise for things that will eventually become beaters. He finds them dumb.
For it. I have a great. It's a useless fucking card. It would never work. It might as well be Great Moth.
Nothing is.
If like no attack power requires a tribute, it would take like 6 turns to be worth it.
All right, here's a good question.
The card's bad.
Sure, Trunks got his kick-ass sword. Where did he get his kick-ass sword from?
I don't know. The movies aren't canon, so you can't say Tapion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to say, like, isn't that the Z sword?
No.
The one on the Kai planet? No, that broke.
Well, yeah, but it's a different timeline, so that doesn't mean...
So, would it... Because, like, Shin trained him, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken, he trained him in the future to defeat Deborah and Majin.
No, he just did that because he was strong by that point.
Yeah, I mean, he was strong enough to take him on.
I don't know, it's...
They gave him the original sword, he never fully said where he got it from. Because if you watch the Trunks movie, he doesn't have it at that point where he's training to get someone to sword.
Wow, you guys quickly went back to Dragon Ball Z.
And also, like, he gets it in the movie, the last actual Dragon Ball Z movie. he gets it from Tapion, but that's not canon, so I don't.
Yeah,
like,
so it wouldn't be it.
They
I
never,
like to think he just made
outside
it.
that-
Like, Gohan made it for him.
No.
I mean, like, didn't Piccolo make Gohan a sword?
yeah, he did with his
But
clothes.
then
beam.
again,
Yeah.
with his clothes beam.
Yeah.
Clothes beam.
I always like that scene. I
Gohan
always
don't
like
have that
scene
power.
from the Cell Saga where Goku asks Piccolo to make him like clothes, and Piccolo's so like upset by it.
Can you make me clothes?
It's like, no, not for you. What are you kidding me? You're my enemy.
All right, I just got back here. What did I miss?
Hey,
You
we
missed,
had a
you missed
discussion
the
about
political socio ramifications of Piccolo's clothes beam.
Oh,
Which
so
should have
nothing,
never been
nothing
homeless
out of
if he could
usual
just make
then.
his own
Is it
product.
ethic or unethical to be able to use your key energy to create clothes?
Maybe.
Yeah, Goku still wears his weighted gi.
I don't know. Does it matter?
No, it
Like
doesn't matter.
his gi could wear like 80 of his weighted gi and it wouldn't bother him anymore.
I like the. I've always liked Gohan, but they really messed him up and all the Dragon Ball Super stuff. Like, I remember what he used to be, and now he's fallen so far.
At regionals, I ended up going X3 before I dropped. As you do.
What were you
As
playing?
do.
Paleo.
That's why.
I mean, I've had my Paleos perform a hell of a lot better before.
I mean, it's right now. It's just not a good matchup.
Well, it's not that. I mean, it's okay against Salamangreat. It's okay against Thunder Dragons. It's actually doesn't have a really bad matchup in the meta. The problem was I lost my round 1 match, so I was getting down paired after that, and after that I was playing a bunch of weird jank. And in rogue matchups, Paleo are hit or miss. Like I played against Blue Eyes, and that's just an inherently bad matchup for me.
Yeah, because you can't.
Like Blue Eyes is not a good deck, like by any stretch of the imagination. It's no better or worse than mine. It's just that in that matchup, he just plays big dumb beaters, and my deck has a problem with that.
Yeah, 3K.
Uniquely, my deck has a problem with that. So it's like it's annoying, but that's Yu-Gi-Oh for you. So that means I was then X2, like going into round 3. So then I was just like, then I was all bets were off, and I was playing just random crap after that. So I was like, all right, fine, whatever. It's not my day.
That would be cool if we got like a Paleo card that gained attack points or something like that.
They have one. It's terrible.
Oh, okay. I meant a better one.
Yeah, they have 2. One just gives a 1 monster in the field 500 attack points for a turn, which is just stupid. And the other one halves the attack of something on the field. But the issue is that they both target, so they wouldn't help me in the Blue Eyes matchup.
Yeah. Eldron grenade.
And I mean, I managed to out the Chaos Dragon. Like I actually managed to do it. I punched Centurion.
Oh, is that the Levenair or is that Emperor?
No, the level 8, the baby Chaos Max.
Oh, okay.
The one that's not as good, but if you play them next to each other, it actually wins you the game.
Yeah, it's like a little soft lock or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
gonna
gotta
have
pick
to
that
sign
cat
out now.
out.
I have to go do
Stupid
another
cat.
person fail. I'll catch you guys later.
Okay.
Alright, see ya.
All right, buddy. We
All right.
love you. Thanks
Love
for
you.
getting the mic.
Love you too, boo boo. Are you in good hands?
Oh, there it is.
He's so
The
weird.
base.
I'll show you good hands. What?
What? No.
They're so soft.
They're so
Oh, actually,
soft.
I have an announcement to make.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
I'm actually joining the military.
Oh, see here, I thought you were just gonna say something dumb like, "Did you know that XS is working with Eobard
Well, yeah, I'm actually joining the Navy. Yeah, I can achieve my lifelong dream of being surrounded by seamen.
in the Navy? You can join your fellow man." You know they actually play that every day in the morning.
I heard that.
Jason can confirm for you. He was in the Navy.
Nice.
Wait. That's another thing. Like Cicada, he's like the worst villain ever.
His acting is atrocious. It's not even like comic book villain bad. It's just bad.
He doesn't do anything. He gets defeated. He even got defeated by like not Flash, right? Just like his sidekicks beat him.
Yeah, they beat him every single episode. He just runs off.
he like Thor slams away. You know, he just picks himself up and jumps off.
He's just an annoyance, really. Like. And pretty much the entire series so far, all he's been doing is killing other villains. So, like, I don't even know why they keep chasing him.
Yeah, he has, like, that hit list, and it's, like, all these villains.
Right? Like, oh my god, like, let's just let him clean up the city and then deal with them later.
If he was in Star City, they would have given him a medal.
Yeah, Oliver Queen would have just recruited him to the team.
Exactly. You got some rough edges here, but I think I can make you work. Welcome to the team, Black Canary.
Yeah. Black Canary 4. Here's the salmon ladder. Have some fun.
Here's the salmon ladder.
Salmon ladder. Clank. Welcome to the team, Black Canary. Oh my god.
What? It's true. They're all bad people and that's killing each other like that.
I can't stand Arrow anymore. I don't know why I keep watching.
Oh man, it's so bad now.
Like, I hate it. I used to think it was the best one, and then it just got really bad.
I hate recurring villains so much.
I don't mind recurring villains because that's very comic booky. It's just that in this more realistic world, it kind of doesn't make any sense.
You either kill them or you just don't come back for a while, and then they pop in and then you get rid of them easy. Like,
why is that Spanish dude still a thing?
Who, Vibe?
No.
The other one, Team Arrow.
War Dog, something like that.
No, the bad guy.
Oh, the dragon.
What?
He's the Richard Dragon, right?
No, the bad guy.
Richard Dragon. You mean the crime boss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's called Richard Dragon.
That's not his name.
I don't know what they call him that show. I haven't watched Arrow in a while. I'm gonna Google Hispanic guy in Arrow.
And that's gonna be way too vague. It's just gonna give you Wild Dog.
Rick Gonzalez, right?
No. Dick Dragon.
I'm not crazy here, right? It's Richard Dragon. I know who you're talking about. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Dick Dragon? His name's not Dick Dragon.
Okay, we'll keep going, but yeah, what do you mean by him? Like,
it's the bad guy. He was the main bad guy from last season, and for some reason, he's still a bad guy in this season.
Well, he doesn't do anything, that guy, either. Right? All he does is rule over the city, apparently.
What the fuck is his name?
It's Richard Dragon. I keep telling you this. I'm pretty sure it's Richard Dragon.
No, it's not. It's like Diaz. Something Diaz.
Arrow season, what season are we on? 8?
I don't know. Because they call him Diaz, which is his last name all the time. It's like
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, but he's supposed to be Richard Dragon. Like that's who he's based off of.
Like Dragon. Yeah,
Richard Dragon.
Not Draggin.
No, Dragon as in like the beast. Yeah.
Not dragon as in like dragon across the floor.
What do you think? You think I'm making a joke this whole time?
Yes. Dick Dragon.
right over.
It's like some dumb thing you call Moe's Tavern and ask for over the phone.
What did you? Why
I'm
did you
looking for
delete that comment? That
I'm
comment's
looking for
hilarious,
a
dude.
Richard. He goes by Dick. His last name Dragon. And Mo's like, Dick Dragon. I'm looking for a Dick Dragon. Like,
Okay, but yeah, like that character, he's awful. He doesn't do anything. He didn't even do anything in the last season either. When they added
no,
the
he
evil-
just threatens Oliver and gets arrested.
What's the?
Well, who's the villain now for season 8?
It's Diaz.
Still, why?
Kinda. Like, they're looking for this Dante character, which is like a supplier for Diaz or something like that, and they're trying to like Hannibal Lecter him to like get him to tell him. Like, he's in the tank, and they're like, ooh, per quote, fuck,
Oh,
and whatever.
They're doing the reverse flash.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I haven't watched like the last 2 or 3 episodes, and I couldn't care less. They're also doing, instead of a flashback, they're doing a flash forward to like, apparently the Glades have their own mayor, which doesn't make any sense, and it's Wild Dog, but an old guy, and he's like selling out to like some bad dude or something, and Felicity's dead in the future. I don't know. I don't care.
Didn't they nuke the Glades? Like, didn't they nuke it? Like, I'm not even joking. In season 1, they blew it up, right?
They didn't nuke it. They like sunk it. They used, like,
I mean, I wouldn't build. That's like if I destroyed Detroit and then I build like new Detroit on top of it.
Neo Detroit.
Yeah, and then I get
It's
this
full
like
of
cop.
flying cars and weird Japanese stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get this like cop who got attacked in this like bombing, and then I put him in a suit and I call him RoboCop.
That's not Robo. Who would win, RoboCop or Terminator?
RoboCop.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Why has that
RoboCop-
not been a death battle?
It's been a death battle. That's why RoboCop would win.
Wait, has it? Was it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it's like the logical fight.
I mean, like Terminators kind of suck, honestly.
Well, Terminator 2 is good. Terminator 1.
No. I meant like Terminators as the machines.
Oh,
I mean,
I was gonna say
the
Terminator
T1
3 sucks, and like everyone after that's been pretty bad.
I mean, the T-1000 is great, but then they melted him.
I apologize for the flexing. I'm trying to figure out the deck.
Oh, you're just trying to flex.
No, you're just trying to do that.
Weird flex, but
He
okay.
is referring to Gulak. What?
All right. Well, I was more speaking to my opponent of exclamation point.
You mean a gulag? A gulag. A gulag is like an old Soviet like war prison.
Exactly, where they throw people in, like in Siberia.
Well, I hope that somehow between my stumbling through salmon grates and Dave stumbling through speech, we have been somewhat entertaining.
The goulash. The gulag.
You
That's
spelled
like
it
a
wrong.
shitty restaurant in Hell's Kitchen. The goulash gulag or something like.
But I think that's all I have in me for tonight.
Okay.
It is about that time.
Yeah, it's time to get going. We spent literally like an hour just loafing about.
Yeah, I feel like I really brought a lot to this stream.
Hey, you're here.
I forgot you
Welcome.
were here.
You always do, PT. You always do. Don't worry.
Thanks. I'm glad you guys have been appreciating my work.
You keep the stream grounded, and your presence is always
Subscribe to PT's channel.
Yeah. Dave, do you wanna sign out?
Thank you guys for stopping by to the stream. It was always a pleasure. We have a lot of fun here, basically wasting a Monday night. So if you guys want to waste another Monday night, come back next Monday. And if you guys are late joining or whatever, Ryan parse out these into little separate videos throughout the week into little tiny topics, so you guys can get me in the more digestible doses instead of this awful
they
2
cheat.
hour.
They don't want to make new content.
We don't want to make new content. I don't, sir.
Nope.
Did you see what I posted there, Dave?
Electric Gulagoo.
Right below it.
I saw yours.
We don't want to get totally demonetized.
Yeah.
Alright guys, see you guys next time. Remember guys, you don't troll the matter who will. See you guys hopefully Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't get run over.